I want to start with a little bit of history about beatboxing. So it basically started in the 1980s when hip hop became more popular. And artists would try to express with their voices the same sounds as drums and percussion. So hence the vocal percussion. And then it became really popular with a cappella groups. So where beatboxing falls into a cappella is when the beatboxer is trying to sound like the drum part of a song that the a cappella group is trying to sing. So in an arrangement, which is when the arranger takes a song and writes it into several different parts for voices to sing, a beatboxer is super important in an a cappella group because they keep the tempo for the group. If they speed up, everyone else is gonna speed up. If they slow down, everyone else is gonna slow down. And that's where tempo falls in. Because again, tempo is really, really important in music and it carries the rest of the group. So let's get into it. You guys are gonna need to go get a glass of water or a water bottle of water because it's really important to have that nearby when you're beatboxing. Because you're gonna be using a lot more air than you usually do when you're singing, so you don't want your mouth to get too dry. So like I said, beatboxing is also called vocal percussion. Percussion are instruments that are like drums and tambourines and wood chimes and wood blocks, and there's an array of percussion instruments. But today, we're gonna be talking about which drums relate to different beatboxing sounds. So let's start with the bass drum. That is the lowest and most full sound in beatboxing. So it's gonna sound like this. All right, so how to get that sound is you're basically filling up your mouth with air and then shooting it out through a smaller hole in your mouth. And you're gonna use a lot of your lower lip. Your lower lip is gonna shoot out and sort of look like this. Here's an up close picture. So you can see that my lower lip is shooting out. It's almost like I'm giving a kiss, but before I'm letting out all of the air at once, so instead of going like, right? I am almost stopping the air before it goes out. So filling up with air, making your mouth smaller, using your bottom lip, and stopping the air and then letting it out. So it's almost like you pop a balloon. So here's your balloon, fills up with air, right? And then you pop it, right? Or so let's try just with a 4 rhythm beat. So like 1, 2, 3, here we go. Next we have the top hat. The top hat is that shiny brass instrument that kind of looks like a gong. So it's the one that's like ba-doom, tss, and it's gonna sound like this. Tss, 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 tss. So that's the bass drum with the top hat. Spelling that out in words, that's gonna be like a T-S-S. So tss. I wanna talk about breathing real quick too. So we just did our first real exercise and we're gonna do it again in a second, don't worry. It's important that we're drinking water in between this as well and breathing right. So take a water break. Awesome. Okay. And you're breathing, you're gonna find that you're gonna run out really quickly. So how do we fix that, Miss Lexi? Well, basically, if you remember from the first video of this singing journey, I talked about our diaphragm. Our diaphragm is the muscle that helps your lungs fill up with air and exhale with air. You're gonna fill up your diaphragm as much as you can while you're beatboxing and be conscious or mindful of your breathing. So next up, I'm gonna add another sound into my beatboxing pattern. So just listen to this one and then I'll talk about what it is. Okay, I freestyled a little bit there, but basically I added in an inwards K sound or a snare drum. It sounds like this. So how to do that is you do an inwards K sound. Let's all say K, K. Now let's do the sound that starts at the beginning of saying the word K, the K. So K, K. Without your vocals, just do the air part. K, 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 K. And now almost lift the sound and give it a little bit more air. So K, K, K. Your jaw is gonna drop like this. So there we have three main beatboxing sounds. The bass drum sound, the top hat, and then the inwards K snare. So basically written down, I gave each of the sounds for beatboxing a letter. So basically the letters for the beatboxing sounds are on the macro beats, and the ones where we don't do anything are called the micro beats. So macro beats will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then micro beats are 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and okay? All right, so let's try out this pattern, okay? You can tap the beat with your foot, or you can tap the micro beats with your foot, with your hand. I'm gonna tap right here so you guys can hear it. And then we're gonna try beatboxing. So take a sip of water, take a deep breath of air, and let's do it. 1E and 2E and 3E and go E and It goes a little fast, I know. So let's try that again. Ready? This time try not to tap and just beatbox. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Awesome job, guys. I know that was a lot, but it was fun, right? Water break. Okay, so next I have written down 2 more patterns, which I'll just do for you since I already showed you how to read it. So we have our macro patterns here, and then we have our micro. So let me do this first line for you, which is right here. So here's the beat. So on the major beats, the macro beats, I have first a bass drum, followed along with 3 top hats, and then I switch to the snare K drum sound, and then I have again 3 top hat sounds, going back to bass drum, 3 top hats, snare drum, 3 top hats, bass drum, 3 top hats, and so on and so forth. So we're just gonna repeat this top pattern. Okay, and again, like, beatboxing doesn't always have to be written down. I just wrote it down for you guys to give you a visual. So let's try it out. Ready? Take a deep breath. 1E and 2E and 3E and go E and awesome. That one's really fun. And then we have our last one, which I wrote down. And this one looks a little complicated, but it sounds like this, okay? So, I basically added in 1 more bass drum before we alternate back to the bass drum. It's the same one as the last one we did, but you're just adding in another bass drum on the uhs. So bass drum 1, top hat E and then another bass drum on the So let's try that together, shall we? Remember, it goes fast, so be mindful of your breathing. You can stop if you want to stop. It's totally up to you. So let's try this bottom rhythm out together. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a go E and a. So let's try this bottom rhythm together. I'll count us off like I usually do, and then we'll come in together. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a go E and a. So let's try that without the sheet. Just focus on feeling the beat in your body, the macro beats versus the micro beats. You can snap if you want. It sometimes helps me. You can tap your chest, just move your body. Just really feel the pulse and the micro and the macro beats. All right, let's try it out. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a go E and. So as you saw there in the middle, I took some inward breaths and they're pretty quick. So I recommend taking quick breaths, but very heavy ones where you can get as much air as you can in between the beats. So I'm gonna freestyle for you guys a little bit, the best that I can. I'm not a professional beatboxer, but I have done some of it in my day in the acapella world. So here we go. Let's find a beat. So 1, 2. And you can basically interchange those and put them into any song you want, or just like listen to a song, play it on your iPod, your phone, your laptop, and then you can just practice beatboxing to that song. You can totally YouTube and Google beatboxing if you're more into it. But anyways, I hope that this was fun for you guys, and I'll see you in my next video, which we're gonna take it down a notch, learn an old song, and do a little bit of crafting. So I'll see you guys then. I hope you have a wonderful day and night, and happy beatboxing. Bye guys.